North Hollywood, California, and I'm here to visit the gravesite of Barton McLean, who played Colonel Peterson on I Dream of Jeannie. Are you a fan of I Dream of Jeannie? If so, stay tuned because I'm going to visit as many of the gravesites as I can find for the cast members of the show. Thanks for joining me on another trip to visit the most memorable cemeteries, memorials, and gravesites. To find his gravesite, you enter through the front gates and make the first right, and then make the very next right, and then head to the center of the cemetery and look for the Egyptian arch. His final resting place is located not very far from the arch. His Find a Grave memorial page has a GPS, which also helps. McLean was born on Christmas Day, December 25th, 1902, in Columbia, South Carolina, and died on January 1st, New Year's Day, 1969. He died at the age of 66 in Santa Monica, California, from double pneumonia. The classic TV sitcom I Dream of Jeannie was originally on the air from 1965 to 1970, and McLean played General Martin Peterson on the show. During his long and impressive career, he appeared in nearly 175 movies and TV shows, but for fans of I Dream of Jeannie, he'll always best be remembered as General Peterson. This area where he's laid to rest is called the Hope section, and straight ahead is the arch that I mentioned earlier. And as you can see, this is a pretty large section of the cemetery. And I hope he was a plane lover because Valhalla Cemetery is located right next door to Burbank Airport. Buried to the right of McLean is his wife, Charlotte Winters. She was an actress who appeared in more than 50 movies during her career. She lived to the age of 91 and died in Santa Monica, California on January 7th, 1991. About 25 miles south of North Hollywood is Holy Cross Cemetery in Culver City. And this is where two more cast members from I Dream of Jeannie are laid to rest. And I'm going to start by visiting the gravesite of actor Hayden Rourke, who played Colonel Dr. Alfred Bellows on the show. He's laid to rest up the hill in front of the mausoleum. And I really had to work for this one today. The gravesite was covered in leaves and twigs, and there was no GPS. And so I just added one to make it a lot easier to find his grave if you visit in person. Rourke died in Toluca Lake, California at the age of 76 from multiple myeloma on August 19, 1987. He appeared in some 50 movies and TV shows, including classics like the 1959 Pillow Talk starring Doris Day and Rock Hudson. But, like Barton McLean, he'll probably always best be remembered for his role in I Dream of Jeannie. According to Barbara Eden in her autobiography, Jeannie Out of the Bottle, Rourke was openly gay and lived with his partner, director Justice Addis, until Addis's death in 1979. Addis was a movie and TV director and died on October 26, 1979 at the age of 62. I wasn't able to find a Wikipedia page for him, and his Find a Grave page says his burial details are unknown. So if any of you happen to know where he's laid to rest, please share with us down below in the comments section. While he wasn't buried with his partner, he was buried with his mother, Margaret Hayden Rourke, and I discovered that she was pretty famous herself. Back in the early 1900s, she was a suffragette and also an actress before she became famous in the fashion industry. She was America's first color forecaster or colorist, and during Herbert Hoover's presidential administration, she standardized the shades of red, white, and blue that are used in the American flag today. She also standardized the colors that are used in U.S. military uniforms. She died on March 2nd, 1969, at the age of 85, and truly was an early fashion industry pioneer. Just a short walk from Rourke's grave to Section R at the west end of the cemetery is the gravesite of actress Emmeline Henry. She played Rourke's TV wife on the show, Amanda Bellows. Henry died in Palm Springs, California at the young age of 50 from a brain tumor on October 8, 1979. She appeared in dozens of movies and TV shows, but like the others, will probably always best be remembered for her role as Amanda Bellows on the series. As you can see, she has one of the best views in the cemetery here on the side of the hill, looking west toward the ocean. To find her grave from the entrance gate, you make the first left and go up to the top of the hill past the grotto section on the left, Make another left, and then go a short distance until you see Section R on the right-hand side. And our Find a Grave memorial page does have a GPS to make it easy to find. Heading north back over the hill to Forest Lawn in the Hollywood Hills, I'm going to make another visit to actor Michael and Sarah's gravesite, which is located just in front of the Courts of Remembrance, just to the left in the homeward section. And Sarah was married to the star of the show, Barbara Eden, from 1958 to 1974. He played a few different characters on the show, including the Blue Jen, King Kamehameha, and Major Biff Jellicoe. He also directed at least one of the episodes. He appeared in more than 125 movies and TV shows during his career, and is probably best remembered for his role as Cochise on the TV Western series Broken Arrow that aired from 1956 to 1958. He also played Kane in the Buck Rogers in the 25th Century series, and Kang in the Star Trek series. And Sarah died from Alzheimer's disease in Calabasas, California at the age of 91 on July 31st, 2013. One of the top 10 best-selling fiction writers of all time, created and produced the show, which was based on the movie The Brass Bottle, starring Tony Randall and Barbara Eden. The popular sitcom ran from 1965 to 1970. Sheldon also created and produced two other very popular TV series. The Patty Duke Show, which ran from 1963 to 66, and Heart to Heart, which ran from 1979 to 1984. During his career, he won an Academy Award, a Tony Award, and an Emmy Award. And if that weren't enough, later in life, he sold millions of books worldwide as a best-selling romance novelist. Sheldon died from pneumonia at the age of 89 in Rancho Mirage, California on January 30th, 2007. He was cremated, and his ashes are interred here in the Sanctuary of Tenderness Courtyard at Westwood Village Memorial Park in Westwood, California. Actor Bill Daly played Captain Major Roger Healy on the show and lived to be 91 years old. He died on September 4th, 2018 in Santa Fe, New Mexico, and was cremated. His ashes were scattered, and he has no final resting place to visit at this time. Actor Larry Hagman was the co-star of the show, and he played Captain Major Tony Nelson and Jeannie's master. He died from leukemia at the age of 81 on November 23rd, 2012 in Dallas, Texas. Like Daly, Hagman was also cremated. His ashes were scattered, and he has no final resting place to visit at this time. And I remember having a close encounter with Larry Hagman in the early 1970s, shortly after the series ended, and before he had even greater success as the star of the TV show Dallas, which was probably my favorite TV show of the 1980s. My brief encounter with Larry Hagman happened at the Thrifty drugstore in downtown Palm Springs, California. As you can see, it's still here nearly 50 years later, but now it's a Rite Aid. It really blows my mind, as we used to say. It seems like it was just yesterday. I was standing in line at the checkout counter, and I turned around, and he was standing right behind me. He was standing there holding onto a shopping basket full of liquor. He had the most bloodshot eyes I've ever seen, and that's saying a lot because my eyes are always bloodshot because of severe allergies, and it seemed pretty clear that he was in no mood for conversation, so everyone in line gave him his privacy that day. His mother, actress Mary Martin, owned a home here in Palm Springs at the time, and so did Sidney Sheldon. So I just assumed that he was making an alcohol run for a party at one of their homes, and he looked like he had already been partying for hours. So have you ever had an especially memorable celebrity encounter? If so, please share with all of us in the comments section. The only remaining main cast member from the show is Barbara Eden. She's now 88 years old, and I'm sure we all wish her many more happy years. And this week, I'd like to thank my latest Patreon supporter, Ernie Comstock. Thank you, Ernie, for supporting this channel with your generous contribution. So if you enjoyed today's vlog, please give it a thumbs up and share with a friend. And if you haven't already subscribed, please consider subscribing and clicking the bell icon to be notified when I upload future videos like this one. And if you did like today's video, I have plenty more that you might be interested in watching, like these two here. So until our next trip to the graveyard, thanks for sharing the memories, everyone.